Hey Froggy friends, Kirostyle here, welcome to Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, Digital Artbook, and Soundtrack. So, we've finished all three of the new Ninja Gaiden games, Ninja Gaiden 1 Sigma, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. We did not play Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma, because we had access to Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, of which, in this Master Collection, we played, I guess, 2 or 3 of the games, because we opted to play Ninja Gaiden 2 Black instead of Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma. Again, it's so confusing because there's so many different variations of these games, and different names and re-releases and ports and whatnot. But the collection comes with this digital art book and soundtrack, so let's have a look at it and see some of the goodies inside. Oh, there's music playing. Oh, so the artworks are sorted by type and not by game. So chapter 1 is artwork. Okay, some funky music. So I can turn the page, I can look at the soundtrack, I can pause the music, and chapter select. So there's no zoom in and out feature, it looks like. Which I've noticed as well during when we did Lost Soul Aside. That soundtrack and the art book also did not have an option to zoom in, which is a bit of a shame, because I think some of the artwork is pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna turn down the music a little bit. Okay, that should be better. Okay, so this is the artwork for the Master Collection when they re-released all 3 of these ports. Okay, so this is Ninja Gaiden 1. Okay, so you can click to zoom in on like artworks by looking at them individually. So I know this picture appears on the PlayStation menu when you hover your cursor over the game. I remember that. Ryu with Rachel and Ayane. So this picture of Ryu here, without Rachel, is on the cover of the game. And there's different variations of it too. There's like a blue version for the PS Vita version, and then there's like a red version for the PS3 version, and I think it was like a different one for the Xbox version. It was really hard to find a picture, or like a nice version of this picture for the thumbnail, let me tell you. Because in the thumbnail, I also wanted to incorporate the logo on my own, because I wanted all the Ninja Gaiden thumbnails to have the logo in the same spot. So I wanted to find a logo-less picture, and I could only find pictures of this as the box art, like with the logo and like the ESRB rating and everything, and I was like, it was so hard to find a high-res version of it without all that. And whenever I did, they were like all cropped off or something like that. So it took me forever to find it. So this is Ninja Gaiden 2. This is the key art. This is another one. That was pretty cool. Why does that have vampires though? There's no vampires in that game. And then they use this pose for Ninja Gaiden 2 Black's cover art, although it's like from a different angle and looks a bit better. And then this is from Ninja Gaiden 3. Of course, with the curse on his arm. Like, these ones are pretty cool. I think the idea of him having the curse on the arm and all this stuff was a pretty cool design choice. Oh, so this one, okay, this is interesting, I found out. In Ninja Gaiden 3, the original release of Ninja Gaiden 3, in the chapter 1, there's like a soldier that you cut down, and then he like begs for his life, and then Ryu kills him, just to show that like the whole thing about Ryu being a murderer, being a hero, and like this whole curse of the murderer's grip or whatever. And then in Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, they cut it out because they felt like it was too brutal, it was too out of character for Ryu, it was too mean, which I totally agree with, but like this was actually like a thing. Like, the text is kind of cool though, I will say. And if they wrote like a deeper story, I think it would have been really cool to incorporate some of that. They just chose not to. I think Region of the Mask was kind of a cool antagonist too, because like all the other main rivals in the games are just like other ninja, so it's cool to have someone that's actually like visually distinct and different than that. Okay, this one's pretty cool too. This one was on the chapter clear screens at the end of each one. Okay, so this is the cover art. So this is the cover art for Ninja Gaiden 1 Sigma. Again, there are different variations of it with different color flames in the background, like a blue one for PS Vita. So hard to find a version of this picture that wasn't cropped this much, because this one's kind of cropped on the left and the right, because there are versions of this picture where it's not really cropped, and you can see more of his body, and it was so hard to find a high-res version of it. This is Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma, and I didn't use this one for the thumbnail just because I played Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, so I decided to use the Ninja Gaiden 2 Black artwork instead, since that's the version we played, which is a good choice, because that game was so much better. I fear that if we played Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma, it would have been a little difficult. And then this is the artwork for Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. And I think this digital art book does not have the key cover art for Ninja Gaiden 3 OG, only for Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. And even though we played Razor's Edge, I chose to use in the thumbnail the picture from the cover of Ninja Gaiden 3 because I felt like it worked better with this picture and with the Ninja Gaiden 2 Black cover art, because those were all full body pictures, and if I used this one, which was cropped, it would look out of place because it wasn't his full body, so I tried to make it similar, which is why I chose the other box art, which was also really hard to find a high-res version that wasn't cropped without the logo. Oh, Chapter 2, Character Visuals. Like, there are cool character designs in these games. So this is Ninja Gaiden 1 Ryu. His outfit changes a little bit between the games, but it's... unless you're, like, really paying attention, I mean, you could tell it's the same silhouette, it's the same major traits. And I think he has a really cool outfit. Like I said, I like ninjas that have, like, the sleeveless and the scarf. Anything that's, like, Strider Hiryu-like. Obviously, I think Strider Hiryu is cooler because he has a better haircut, and the red scarf just looks cooler, but Ryu is really cool. He really rocks that, like, stealth, op gear, ninja style stuff. I just wish there was more options to see his hair. Like, he's a really cool character. Ooh, I like these ones, like the 2D artwork. Oh, see, he has bandages on his arm. This is how they were trying to figure out how to do the curse. See, this one would have been cool, but I think the red was definitely more striking. The blue looks a little weird. I wish I could read all these notes here. That would be kind of cool. Actually, the blue on him kind of looks like some of the demons in Ninja Gaiden 2 had like that blue flame glow on them. It kind of looks like that. Maybe that's what they were going for. Oh, different outfits for Ryu. This is his OG outfit from like the 1980s games on the NES and at the beginning of Ninja Gaiden 1 Sigma. Oh, he had like a knight armor one? Why does he have a lightsaber? I wish this was a 3D model so I could rotate it. You could tell it's not like completely high res. And this is Evil Ryu from the first game. The story of these games is always so like up in the air. Like it's so like, not to say difficult to follow, but like there's a lot of things they don't tell you directly. Oh, and then here's the second game. Again, most of these outfits you can only get when you beat the game on like hard or like extreme or whatever. So this is classic outfit, but now they made it sleeveless, which is a nice. And then we have like Fiend Ryu. Fiend Ryu is pretty cool. Like different versions of Fiend Ryu. I wish they incorporated him better into the mythos. But this one doesn't even have a scarf. And then this is his other outfit. He uses this in some of the Dead or Alive games too. I think he uses this in Dead or Alive 1 or 2 before they go back to this outfit for him in Dead or Alive. It's not a bad outfit, but it's definitely not as cool as the other ones. It definitely looks a little bit more traditionally ninja. It looks like somewhere between these two here. Oh, Ninja Gaiden 3. So again, like this outfit's really cool. It's like the first time they gave us an outfit that was so distinctly different. and you actually see his hair and his bare chest. But it was just so weird playing this game because you could equip this outfit right off the bat, right from the beginning, but then they don't account for the fact that his arm is already cursed. There's no uncursed version of this outfit. And there's a couple cutscenes where he like lowers his face mask to talk to someone, and then he does it here, but it doesn't actually lower on this one. Like, I think they could have done that. They should have done that. This is interesting, like a low-res model, I guess, to show what this one would look like. Well, this is more Ninja Gaiden 3 outfits. Dang, look at those veins on his arm. I couldn't stop like looking at those veins in all the cutscenes. I know my model was blocking some of the veins on his arms during some cutscenes if he stood on the right side of the screen. This Fiend Ryu is pretty cool too. Again, very weird that you can get this at the very beginning of the game and then play through the whole game like this, because it wouldn't make sense in the cutscenes. Wait, his scarf here doesn't actually wrap around his neck here, so it must be just sprouting from his back. And like the classic Fiend Ryu, I guess. And the Ninja Gaiden 2 Fiend Ryu. He kind of looks like a Samurai Warriors character here, like one of the ninja characters from Samurai Warriors. Ayane? I get that they want her to look sexy. Also the fact that she like sticks out like a sore thumb. She's like the only character with a bright, unnatural colored hair in the series. Organization 13 version of her. Although it is cool and thematic when she like throws her exploding kunai and explodes in purple, or she has like the little like purple flowers or windmills on her kunai. And the butterfly theme to her sash. She has different outfits as well. I think I like this one the best, actually. I think the hood looks cool. Although she doesn't have her, like, waist sash bow on the back. Ooh, concept art. I like this one from Ninja Gaiden 3 because of the design on the pattern on her scarf. I think is really cool. Oh, here. Actually, I'll hide myself so you can, if you can read Japanese, then you can read the text here in the corner. I do appreciate how, even though their outfits change between the games, they're similar enough that they don't like strike you as odd or weird. Like, Ayane's outfits change more between the games than Ryu's outfits, but every time you're still like, oh yeah, that's Ayane, like, clearly. They're all close enough that like you wouldn't raise a fuss about it, even though they are actually all quite different. I don't like this one, though. I think this one's a little weird. I think the military green doesn't look good on her. Oh, Momiji? I like Momiji's outfit, actually, and Naginata's our cool weapon. This one's actually pretty cool, too. She kind of looks like Strider Hien from the Strider series. I guess this is her priestess outfit. And then her bow and arrow. Like, they put a lot of, like, thought and effort into the designs of weapons and things that you probably don't see on screen for very much. Which is cool. Oh, this is, her outfits from Ninja Gaiden 3, I think, right? Yeah. Yeah, because this is Ninja Gaiden 2. Unless this is also Ninja Gaiden 2, it might be. Oh, this is 3, for sure. Oh yeah, these are all 3, because she's doing the same pose. I don't know why they gave us this outfit for her in Ninja Gaiden 3 for the trial mode by default, when you play as her in the story mode, she wears this. So it's weird that you start off with something different in the trial mode. It looks like they were trying to give her something like Rachel's outfit, because Rachel's not in this game. This one's also weird. I mean, I guess it's fan servicey, but like why? I can't imagine her wearing this at all. It seems very out of character. What is the one on the far right? She's just naked under that thing. Her, like, ceremonial overalls. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't go with these ones. I feel like these ones are a little bit too different from her normal design. Oh, and then we have Rachel. It's like they introduced Rachel in Ninja Gaiden 1 Sigma, and then it feels like they were trying to go for her being the love interest, and then they dropped it when they reintroduced Sonia/Irene. It was cool to have someone with a different skill set though, a giant axe, not like a ninja. Oh, she has like demon forms. Why does she kind of look like Veronica from Shadow Hearts? And then this one looks like she's trying to be like a character from Arc Rise Fantasia. Right, she's got like a demon form. Very like unknown from Tekken Tag Tournament. Whoa, her like entire butt is out. Her entire like groin is out too. Oh, Kasumi. So Kasumi's only in Ninja Gaiden 3 as like a trial mode character. But this is her outfit she wears in like some of the later Dead or Alive games. And then she gets a fan-servicey sailor outfit, I guess, for no reason. Why is this picture bigger than this picture on this menu? I don't think it's an optical illusion. I think they're actually... Maybe it's an optical illusion. This is her classic Dead or Alive outfit. They felt like she was... The reason why they didn't put her into the story of Ninja Gaiden was because they felt like she was too soft. Because, you know, Ryu and Ayane are like dismembering people left and right. That was the reason they gave anyway. Okay, so this is Momiji's sister, who dies in Ninja Gaiden 1. But they like almost, like on screen, I don't think they ever like tell us her name or give us any backstory or like who she is. We just see her die, and at first you might think she's just a generic NPC, but she's actually Momiji's sister. I think they could have done that a little better. Or at least shown us her before she died, so we got to know her a little bit. And we have Ryu's uncle. I remember in the demo for Ninja Gaiden 1 Sigma, back in the day, they let you play through Chapter 1, but in the demo you play through using Ryu's like normal Black Falcon outfit. So then when you actually played the real game and bought it, and you start off the first chapter and you're wearing this ugly outfit, and you're like, wait, where's my cool outfit? And then Joe. So I think Joe, like in the original trilogy in the 1980s on the NES, which again, those games take place after this trilogy, he actually does like die. So that's why in these games he's just like blinded and not dead, because he needs to die later, I think. So Sonia's also like, she looked really badass in Ninja Gaiden 2, and then she doesn't do like any fighting, which is a bit of a shame. I kind of like her outfit, although, again, she does not look like a CIA operative at all. But she looks cool. I actually really like Mizuki. She kind of looks like Momiji now that you look at it. I like the scarf and the military jacket. Kana. And Ishimura. Again, I appreciate they tried to introduce more characters and have a more character-centric plot in Ninja Gaiden 3. It's obvious that, you know, story was not the main thing they were going for. Look at the height comparison between him and Ryu. He could have had glasses or sunglasses. But at least they tried. They tried to introduce more characters. I like how it says AOL. They even have pictures of him wearing his jacket from that one cutscene. Oh, Muramasa. His eyebrows are so weird. But then again, there's a lot of characters in, like, old Japanese characters in games that have, like, that type of eyebrow. Like, we saw one in Great Ace Attorney. Apparently, there was an extra cutscene in Ninja Gaiden 1 that I missed, where if you go, like, when we did the story, suddenly Ryu had the revelation, like with no indication. I just was proceeding through the game, and suddenly he went back to the village and then, like, attached something to his sword, and his sword started to glow, and I was like, where did he get the idea to do that? It's because there's a missable cutscene where if you go back to Muramasa actually, like, tells him or points him in the right direction to do that. He's like, maybe you should go check out the Hayabusa village and put the magical stone in your sword. And because I missed the cutscene, it was like, it just made no sense to me, the fact that he decided to go back and shove that stone into his sword all of a sudden. Apparently in the lore, Muramasa also knew Obaba when they were both young, or something like that. See, Sanji's also a character I feel like is underutilized. I know he's in, like, some of the side games, but I think in Ninja Gaiden 4 and Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, they introduced new main characters, and those games take place, I think, in the future compared to Ninja Gaiden 3. It would have been nice to see an older Sanji. And maybe he will be in Ninja Gaiden 4 as a NPC, who knows. I think this is Sanji as he appears in some of the side games. And then here's the, what's her name, Mitsu or whatever? She's the one who tuned up the bow for Ryu in Ninja Gaiden 3. She's also a character from the side story games. And then Genjiro is also from the side games. So it's more like a cameo that they got in Ninja Gaiden 3. Same with this guy, Robert T. Sturgeon. I like how they had to stitch his name on there and zoom in on it to show you it was him. He's also a character from Ninja Gaiden NES games from the 1980s. Signature look with his sunglasses, so they brought him in here as a cameo. I don't know if this guy's a cameo, he might be. Or if that's just the outfits for all the military officers. Oh yeah, this guy. He was kind of a cool antagonist. But a little bit more generic compared to, like, most of the other antagonists in these games. I thought there'd be more of a rivalry between him and Ryu. Alright, there was this guy. He was in Ninja Gaiden 1, randomly comes up during the last chapter and fights you. Actually, he doesn't even really fight you directly. He just, like, throws a bunch of, like, ads at you. And then he actually comes back in Ninja Gaiden 2 as, like, not like a main character, but like a recurring boss. I already forgot his name. I mentioned it during Ninja Gaiden 2, but I didn't even realize he had a name in Ninja Gaiden 1 because they never mention it. Or maybe he mentions it once. It was just weird for him to just suddenly appear at the end of the game. I almost completely forgot about this guy. What is with this screenshot? And it's like implied that he's Genshin's brother in Ninja Gaiden 2, and confirmed in, like, the side materials. Gamov, right? That's what his name is, Gamov. He looks like an Indiana Jones villain, actually. What is with this O face, though? Genshin was pretty cool. I think he would have been a cooler rival for Ryu if he had more presence in the story, because he only really appears a couple times and then just leaves immediately. Like, the Regent of the Mask we fought multiple times, but Genshin we fought multiple times, but it didn't really feel like it was as much. Oh, he's got like a white mustache in this one. Oh, this is Genshin in the third game, when he's dead. He actually looks kind of cooler here. Maybe it's because he doesn't have the headpiece. I can see how crunchy this picture is on his face. I can see all, like, the JPEG blurring. See, Elizabeth was kind of cool. When she first appears, she, like, you don't think she's a demon at first. You think she's just maybe a human with, like, powers or whatever. And then suddenly she just, like, turns into a demon. And it's revealed that she's not human. I don't feel like a demon would ever wear this type of, like, red leather Unless they're in like Devil May Cry, like it just that's what threw me off because all the other demons are like naked, right? This guy was kind of interesting. Again, apparently in Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma, because we played Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, there's actually a boss fight with the Statue of Liberty after you beat him. And then the second time you fight him, he actually like brings the Buddha statue to life and you fight the Buddha statue, but Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, they cut that part out. I kind of like the storyboard pictures here though, that's kind of cool. This guy was pretty cool. I think he was my favorite boss from the second game. He just looked cool and intimidating. This is some pretty cool art, I think. This guy was also actually pretty cool. I forgot he existed. I feel like he's a little bit more short-lived than the other demon lords, though. Ooh, this track is cool. This music. I feel like this guy's boss fight was also a little more boring. Oh yeah, Obaba. She's like in a lot of the Ninja Gaiden games, actually. They never really explain how she keeps coming back from the dead. How many times did I teach you this lesson, old lady, kind of thing. She turned gigantic in the third game, though. That was actually kind of a fun boss fight. Just because we hadn't seen a large boss fight in the third game up to that point. But it's also kind of like, why? Region of the Mask, pretty cool, actually. I kind of like that he was a bit more flamboyant. It gave him more personality than other Ninja Gaiden antagonists. Oh, that's an interesting design choice for him. Like a C-3PO bodysuit underneath. He kind of looks like a Warframe enemy like this, actually. He looks like a Grenier. Or like a... He's also got like the Jetstream Sam thing on his chin. Oh, this asshole. I hate the toque with the lab coat and like the ugly Christmas sweater underneath combination. He actually looks better without the glasses in this picture. He looks like a hipster. His demon form was actually kind of cool, but a little unexpected for her how he looked and then what demon he turned into. He was also like very bright because of the bloom effect. So his body looked like it was glowing. She actually seemed like she might be cool, but she was so short-lived. She's got the Hime cut. She's got like the transparent or the translucent shirt. I kind of wish that she stuck around for a little bit more. Her boss form is kind of interesting in the way that she changed her arms, I guess, and then she just became a regular enemy after that. I just can't get over the part where he shoves her into the cauldron. This track is just called Dinosaur. This guy was kind of interesting. He talked for so long after we killed him. Interesting design elements on him, though. Very detailed. For a character that seemed to be important and then actually really wasn't. I can just imagine how uncomfortable it must have been for him to be inside that mech suit when he was fighting us, because that thing was like constantly shaking its head everywhere, but it looks like he's like strapped in, I guess. Like, huge combat forum cockpit of Chairman Wagon. Oh, whoa, they have a bunch of like design notes on this. This is actually kind of cool. I love mech suit concept art because it needs to be so detailed. The organic arm muscles are kind of cool. Also, look at Ryu in the corner. And all the different forms this thing had. And that mouth. Kinda cool. This mouth here almost looks like a claw. It almost looks like a hand. It's pretty neat. Oh, goddess Kana. Her head was so large and weird shaped. She looks like a Devil May Cry or a Dragon Guard enemy. Or a Bayonetta enemy. Oh, the normal enemies. And the spider ninjas, I guess. They really got the short end of the stick. Every game we were just murdering them left and right. How many were there, really? These are like the caster ninjas. And the claw ninjas. The soldiers. These guys were the flying ones. They were annoying. I still don't get, again, I kept saying this during the game, but like, whenever they were flying from a distance and shooting at you, and you need to use your bow and arrow to hit them, they always went down like 1 or 2 shots, but then when they're on the ground suddenly, it takes like so many more arrows to kill them. It's like being flying has a debuff, weakness against arrows, I guess. Oh yeah, I didn't mention this at the end of my Ninja Gaiden 3 playthrough, but it was kind of annoying how every fight I had like 1 or 2 ranged people shooting at you. At least the arrow auto-aimed at them, but it was also just kind of annoying. These guys coming at me with their bare arms exposed, ready to be chopped off. These like stormtrooper guys. Wait, their weapons are like Starter Hiryu's weapon. Like the crossguard swords. These guys were so annoying, the alchemists. Oh, these guys, the ones that kept trying to jump on me. Oh, I didn't realize they grew out of their backs. Like, look at the way his head comes out the backside of this thing. Oh, this music track is called Emperor. That just reminded me how weird the Emperor was in the first game, too. Who just kind of comes out of nowhere and fights you at the end of the game. And you can't even tell, like, if he was ever human or if he was even male or female. It's very weird. Stupid bug enemies here. Like, these guys were cool, except for the fact that they were only, like, these were the only experimental lab subject enemies in the entire game, so you just fought them a whole bunch over and over. Actually, there are these guys too. These guys are kind of cool, I guess. And then there's this guy. Oh, so that's how he transforms into a big head, into a dude with 4 legs. I couldn't understand that from the game. Oh, in the top right you can see. So his scythe is the tail of the head. Interesting. Yo, this is cool. His arm kind of looks like the antagonist of Power Rangers Wild Force. I only know that because... Oh no, not Wild Force. Power Rangers Time Force. I only know that because that's one of the Power Rangers I grew up watching. If you know, you know. This thing's pretty cool too. These are just generic soldiers, I guess. It's cool that they have concept art for all the generic, like, little enemies that don't really, or NPCs that don't really play a role. Because, I mean, they have to, obviously, because someone has to model it, but... It's cool that they included it, though. Although, where is the concept art for the Emperor? Is he also going to be here somewhere? Because I think this is Ninja Gaiden 3 territory, right? Even these scientists that we barely saw in that chapter. Actually, I don't think they showed us concept art for Irene from Ninja Gaiden 3. They only showed us Ninja Gaiden 2 Irene. Huge gunship. Oh yeah, the chapter 3 boss. He looks kind of goofy with his arms so tiny here, actually. Wait, actually... Oh, wait, right, because the helmet blocks out the fact he has multiple eyes. There we go. His tiny little arms. Oh, weapons. I'm surprised they didn't have like a title card for chapter 3 weapons or whatever. See, the staff was cool. In the third game, it just didn't feel as good. But I like how it had like more AoE. The axe was too chunky to use. The nunchucks was kind of cool, actually. Great sword. Right, this is one of his ultimate weapons. It's like, basically if you take his like starter sword, like the paddle, like the worst weapon in the game, and like fully upgrade it, it becomes like the most powerful weapon in the game, but it costs like so many resources. Literally just a paddle. Wait, why is the dangly thing on the sword on the upper part of the screen cut off? You can see that they tried to cut it out to be transparent. There's like still a little residue or artifacts on it. This one looks cool. I like this design. I forgot that when you upgrade weapons in Ninja Gaiden 1, they change colors, and some of the colors got uglier as you went up. Like, I think the staff actually looked better at the beginning. Ooh, the Kusari Gamma was super cool. I wish they brought that one back. Kusari Gamma always makes me think of Kohaku from Inuyasha. The claws are pretty cool though. It was the closest I can get to like fist fighting, aside from the nunchucks, I guess. It was nice that they gave him different weapons to choose from. Which is why it was baffling in Ninja Gaiden 3, in the Ninja Gaiden 3 OG, they did not have multiple weapons to choose from. Oh, okay. I thought Chapter 3 was weapons. Okay, Chapter 3 is stage visuals. They did have some cool environments in these games. Although you don't really have much of a chance to just stop and admire it. Actually, this one was like, this picture makes this one look good, but in-game it looks so gray. It looks so boring. This is the church. We have the blimp. See, they had quite a few interesting locations in the first game, and yet in the third game, for the simulation level, to represent the first game, they just picked the top of the blimp. Actually, there were some bosses in the first and second game they didn't show the concept art for here. Maybe they just didn't have concept art for those, like the Emperor, for example. Or the Ghost Fish, or the giant skeleton dragon. I do like how in the second game we actually changed locations in the world, though. The first game felt a little boring because everything was in that one place, for the most part. This is like Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma. So of course we played Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, so they looked better than this. Thank goodness too. I mean, I had to pay extra because that one didn't come in the Master Collection, but I think it was worth it to get the best Ninja Gaiden experience. I'm kind of glad we didn't go into a weird demon world in the third game. It felt like they overdid that in the other games. Since there's more like modern locations and military stuff in the third game. I love concept art, man. I know most of the time it's a thing where like the concept art they choose to show you is always just like the nice clean ones that look presentable, and behind the scenes there's actually like hundreds and hundreds of ugly sketches or like really rough sketches that you never get to see. But I do like to see what we do get a chance to witness. Especially for characters and stuff. I mean, environments are cool too. I wish I could read more of these things. The notes. I also like it when they include the character in the picture for scale, with their back turned or something like that. Especially with Ryu, since he has a striking silhouette. Oh, the lab subjects. The majority of the concept art in this gallery is just from 3. Probably because it's a newer game. They probably saved more of the concept art. Because again, it was really hard to find like assets and stuff. Like anytime I stream a game from like the 2000s or the 2010s, early 2010s, I would think that I'd be able to find enough stuff to make thumbnails out of, but sometimes it's really hard, or you only find like really small blurry pictures. Or you find the version that only has like the logo on it, or like the ESRB rating or something else in the way, and you're like, I just want the art so I could use it. They went really detailed with all these laboratory areas. Well, this is the Antarctica area. I really admire people that can draw concept art for backgrounds, or even just do backgrounds in general. Well, yeah, this room is only seen in like one cutscene. You barely see it with the old man in the chair at the beginning of the game. Oh, I just realized that's like an Ouroboros, but it's like quadruple. And there's like a tiny region of the mask in the corner. Oh man, even the battleships. This area in the game felt like it took forever. There were just so many repetitive fights and so many like things going on in the background, missiles flying overhead. I should probably be hiding the UI for all these, but I've committed already to not doing that, and it just seems inconsistent if I don't do it now. Okay, we're almost there. Dang, there's so much environmental stuff, which is cool. I just realized I've been yapping for like 45 minutes. Oh, look, that's her head. You can see the goddess's head in there. I really wish I could read all that. vehicles. And looking at all of this, because we recently did the Lost Soul Aside digital art book too, that one was so short, and there was like no commentary on any of the stuff. This is much more well worth it. So if you're really into like military planes and like vehicles and stuff, this would be super interesting. It's not really my field of expertise though. That's cute. They have different like tail designs. Oh, and storyboards. Ooh. Oh, it's a video. This is Ninja Gaiden 2, Sigma. Why is it so shaky? Is it to emulate the wind on the camera? What a weirdly designed building though, really. I mean, it's cool, but also like, why would you design it like that? Also the fact that like, Elizabeth slaps her, like I don't feel like that's something a demon would do. Well, that's cool. So you have like the different scenes here. I love storyboards. They combine the environment and the character and like the framing and like that sense of action. You want to make it clear what's going on, but at the same time you want to look cool. Like where the camera's gonna pan and all that stuff. And sometimes you make the rough sketch, like, so, because you don't need all the details in every single picture, like here with the slapping. Especially the action scenes, like when he's rolling down the roof, it's really cool. So these are all from Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma.
Genshin. Why am I not surprised?
How the vaunted Dragon Ninja bloodline has withered, Ryu Hayabusa.
Your embrace of the evil way has consumed you.
Evil? The ninja way knows neither good nor evil.
Corruption of the soul is a fate that befalls the weak.
Enough talk. The ties that bind our clans are severed tonight. You will be bloodstains on my blade. You fool.
Okay, cool. Not as much action in this one. Again, I wish I could read more of this. Maybe someday in the future. Ooh, the way they draw like engines spinning in the air. Again, I still think it's so funny his dad's name is just Joe. And I know they localize it J-O-E, but it's supposed to be J-O with like a little dash over the O, but it's just kind of funny. I wish they had more than just like 3 storyboards. And not just from the second game, that would have been cool. You can see the difference between this and what we saw when we played Ninja Gaiden 2 Black compared to Sigma.
You made
Genshin.
it erupts. Do you understand what this means?
The Archfiend quickens.
The tantrums of the Archfiend never concern me. All paths before me are cruel and arduous. Our time has come. Your lifeblood shall spill, and you shall die!
Okay, only 4 pictures for this one. Oh, that's the end. So, I'm not gonna go through the whole soundtrack, but it's kind of interesting to see. Okay, so we're at Freeze Up right now. We're still on Ninja Gaiden 1 only. Oh, that's weird. They're listed alphabetically instead of by number. I mean, these games aren't known for, like, the music's good, don't get me wrong, but they're not known for the music, but hearing them now while just yapping and not having to, like, worry about fighting things while hearing them is pretty good. Also, look, it's the picture of Ryu on the box art with the blue flames, like I said on the PS Vita version. The Ninja Gaiden 2. I didn't realize there were so many tracks in the game, because again, you're too busy fighting to realize some of it sometimes. This one's just called Become Daddy. It's so funny. Become Daddy. Out of context, it's just like, wait, what? It's not even Become Father, it's Become Daddy. Returned Daddy. This was just called She. Okay, that was pretty cool. Well worth it compared to some of the other digital art books we've gone over. I can't believe I was able to talk for like 50 minutes on this one alone. I didn't even realize how time was passing until I looked at the timer. I was like, wait a second, I've been talking for quite a while. Even without having like actual commentary on most of these pictures, because most of it was Japanese, so we couldn't read it, there was still enough to talk about, which was kind of cool. And the fact that each page had multiple pictures on it, and they had like the storyboards and the character art and the stage visuals and the weapon art, pretty cool. I wish they were a little bit more inclusive with what they had here, because like there's some like major bosses in each game that were missing. Maybe they just didn't find the concept art for it. Like even like the Vigorian Emperor, which again was like one of the final bosses of the first game, wasn't even in this art book. That's not a big deal. I mean, I'm glad we got to see more of the Ninja Gaiden 3 stuff, because Ninja Gaiden 3, I think, thematically it has cooler stuff than Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. But gameplay-wise, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black was the best, but we played Ninja Gaiden 2 Black and not Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma. Again, it's so confusing how each of these has so many different like ports and names. But we will have Ninja Gaiden 4 coming up next month, so that'll be exciting. Hopefully, I also hope that Ninja Gaiden 4, they don't just like re-release it a couple months later as Ninja Gaiden 4 Sigma, Ninja Gaiden 4 something Edge or something like that. I'd be kind of mad if they did that. Again, considering that Ninja Gaiden 3 and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge came out in the same year and was like so much better, was like, they just need more time to cook in the oven, so I hope they don't do that again. I guess we'll see. But thank you so much for joining me for this video, and I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Bye, froggy friends.